Welcome to Point Blank. This is your host, Panama Crypto. Today, our guest is MacroCRG. He's a banker, an ex-law employment consultant, and a crypto degenerate. Welcome, Macro. It's awesome to have you in Point Blank, my man.
Hello, Panama. Thanks for having me. It's a pleasure to be here.
Sweet. Let's kick it off. So, Macro, what have you been up to lately in and out of crypto?
Just been, following the markets, trying to keep healthy, trying to keep the balance. It's obviously not easy in the global climate, lockdowns, isolation, mental health, because my mental health has struggled this year at times. So just trying to stay healthy, look on the bright side, trying to absorb all the information that the markets are giving us, because it's a minefield out there.
So can you talk to us about a bit of your background?
Yeah, of course. So I'm just a normal guy from Liverpool in the UK. I studied economics for many years, 7 years actually. Finished my degree in economics and business management, finished that in 2014. And then I actually went abroad to set up a kind of travelers hostel called Funkenbunk in Budapest, Hungary. It's not there anymore, but we set it up and kind of managed the budget, found a building, completely redecorated it, set up all the strategies in place. So that was fun. And then spent 3 months there. I returned to the UK and secured a role with Disclosure and Barring Service, which is the ex-Criminal Records Bureau. Part of UK government. Loved it there, incredible, it was great being a civil servant. But I kind of wanted more, so I went over into the public sector and secured a role as a graduate employment law consultant with a company called Peninsula UK, the largest employment law consultancy in the UK. Worked there for 18 months, that was incredible. Absolutely love employment law and I really miss it. But I discovered Bitcoin in Q1 2017, and just mesmerized to find an asset that pumps, that's designed to pump, mathematically programmed to pump. It took over. So rode the entire wave 2017, and then I had a friend in Vietnam. Shout out Elliot Clay. He was teaching over in Vietnam, and he said, "Cal, do you want to come teach at my school for a little while?" So I said, why not? So I left my role, went to Vietnam, and spent 2.5 years as a full-time trader, and traveled Asia, 10, maybe 11 different countries. That was fantastic, but it's hard to be disciplined, especially trading the American markets in Asia. Wow. I mean, stock market, NASDAQ opens at 10 p.m. over there. So I'd kind of trade all day, and then the markets opened, trade all through the night, because I couldn't sleep, and I'm addicted to the markets. And that's when I met my girlfriend. So returned to the UK. Fancy. And here I am.
How was your beginning in crypto? Was it a roller coaster? You bought all the shitcoins back then, or you stuck with Bitcoin and the main altcoins?
Well, at first, I started margin trades in Bitcoin through a brokerage called Trading 212, and it was just printing me money. I didn't even know what it was. So I just, like I said, to find an asset that pumps unconditionally, unequivocally, to just pump all the time. So obviously I delved right into it. That was when Bitcoin just broke all-time high. Found Ethereum about $50, threw money into it like it was no one's business. I bought the top of Numeraire. I remember when they had their, maybe June, July, I can't remember, but bought it about $90, the exact top, and came all the way back down to whatever. But I love shitcoins, and I love, because I'm just a super altcoin bull. I think there's no reason not to be. I mean, it's a crypto market for a reason. It's like saying, why would you like Apple's the only equity you should trade. I mean, bad analogy, but I'm a super altcoin bull, so I love finding these little projects, undervalued projects. You know, love the shit coins.
So what shit coins you currently hyped about?
So many. I think number one, Stowbox, STBU. I am just in love with this project. Shout out to the CEO, Gene, one of the hardest working people I've met in this space. And they're all about asset tokenization. They're award winning. They've been in development for 2 years, got a team of a dozen people, if not more. They've got a crypto exchange coming up, a digital dashboard coming up. Yeah, I think they're incredible. Centivate, another one, is criminally undervalued in my opinion. They've done extremely well last 3 weeks, actually, up about 75% in the last 3 weeks. The chart looks incredible, broken out of a huge falling wedge, just about to break out of an inverted head and shoulders. Another one, IYF, which I think is they're going to change the DeFi landscape forever. I really do. They're really under the radar. Let me have a look. Oh, Ocean. Oh my days. They are a different caliber of crypto. Link. I'm a full-on Link Marine, you know, proud Link Marine. Ethereum, obviously, got to hold lots of Ethereum. Ripple, XRP, the standard. That's going to rip, I think. But yeah, they're just a few, to name a few. Let me see. Let me have a little look at my notes. I mean, yeah, other ones like Ren Band. I think DeFi, the bubble obviously popped, but I think there's another one coming. I think it's going to be much bigger. I mean, the crypto market is tiny, Panama. It is minute, 400 billion market cap, with the global money supply, or the US money supply, increased by what, 20% this year? And it's going to carry on. The taps are open. The liquidity is coming. I don't see any reason why the crypto market can't be in the tens of trillions of dollars. So yeah, I'm just such a bull. And yeah, 2-3 year bear market. We've just come out of it. Ethereum printing high time frame, higher highs. The macro landscape, I mean, rock bottom interest rates, lowest since 2008. Dollar swap lines are open until to 2021, and that's just when the Fed basically allow access for the dollar to be sent freely to other central banks, keeping the dollar nice and liquid to help ease credit markets. Yeah, I think the macro landscape is perfect for a crypto bull run, and I'm just so excited.
So basically, your forecast for legacy and crypto is both bullish, or only for crypto?
I mean, we need to see what happens with Biden and Trump, because I don't know what's going to happen. I'm not a political expert, but I find that, because I made some mistakes earlier on this year, in my bank, there were so many bankruptcies, Panama, so many big travel companies going bankrupt, and on the news, it was doom and gloom, thousands of people dying a day. I couldn't wrap my head around the macro landscape. I was thinking too much into it. So I've learned a lot this year. And instead of thinking what could go wrong, I'm just keeping the same opinion and thinking that unless there's a change in monetary policy direction, as long as we keep getting the stimulus, and as long as we dollar swap lines stay open, I don't see a reason why legacy. I mean, it's long assets. That, I mean, with such stimulus money, and it's not even regarding inflation. It's people talking about hyperinflation. I don't see that, because it's about money velocity. This is the stimulus filtering down into the real world economy. It's not at the moment. So money printing, for use of a better phrase, in itself is not actually inflationary, in my opinion. It's what happens to that money and where it goes. So unless I'll need to, after the next president is elected, And we see where, I mean, markets just want certainty. So I think as soon as the next president's in, as long as it's not a contested election, the markets will fly. As long as we keep getting the fat stimuluses, and there's no severe change in monetary policy. I am a legacy bull, I'm a crypto bull, I'm a gold bull, commodities bull. Yeah, that is my opinion, but we need to wait and see, basically, because I don't know what's going to happen short term.
Where would you recommend people to diversify their crypto gains?
That depends on bias. It depends on comfortability. Is that even a word? But for example, I'm a super altcoin bull, so I don't mind. For example, when Bitcoin was at 12K, I was called a perma bear because I knew it was coming. I knew that we were coming into a period of VIX seasonality, positive seasonality. I knew there was going to be a correction, and it came. So I shorted a lot of the majors and made a decent amount of money. Shorted gold from the very top. Shout out JJ Cycles. And yeah, so I've been dollar cost averaging into these DeFi projects for a while, and I'm pretty underwater on a lot of them, but I'm in big profit on others. So to answer your question directly, I've been moving. I always have a large Bitcoin spot position, but I recently sold a third of that into Ethereum. Probably do. I nailed that, by the way. The market, I think Ethereum against Bitcoin, just looking at the chart now, is bouncing hard. So that's a really good move. I mean, generally, just have some Bitcoin, have some large caps. Don't diversify too much into the small caps. I mean, don't put your whole net worth into a Uniswap coin, because that's just a recipe for disaster. But I just stay away from leverage. To be honest, I hardly use leverage in crypto. I trade liquid leverage Bitcoin. I've been waiting for a uni long for weeks. So that'll come eventually, but just stay away from leverage. Dollar cost average into fundamentally sound projects, and yeah, just invest in the crypto space generally, because I think it's going to go up a lot. So unless you shoot yourself in the foot and lose it all going 100x long, I think, in my opinion, it's going to be hard to lose money in the crypto market over the next 12 months, as long as you invest smartly and wisely, and buy the dip in increments.
So basically, keep all the gains within crypto, no diversification into legacy markets, gold, silver.
Oh, yeah. Oh, of course. Sorry, I thought you were asking
land,
specifically.
Motorcycle, get a Lambo.
Well, I think the uranium market is a big one, but I'm not sure regarding the time frame. There's a massive supply-demand deficit, whereby more and more uranium is needed, and the supply is drying up. Now, I own a lot of uranium equities. Cameco, Energy Fuels. I have one of my pensions in Energy Fuels. Let me see. Next Gen is a beast. Anyone who wants to get into uranium, get the Next Gen weekly chart up. It is insane. GoVX, really testing my patience, because it just will not go up. But yeah, don't invest in uranium if you're looking for quick gains, though. It could take, I mean, I've been in uranium for 2 years. Dollar cost averaging, underwater on some positions, in profit on others. But like I said, I have one of my pensions in uranium, so I have a time frame of 2 to 5 years minimum, or maximum, whichever. I think, the cannabis market, what a week for the cannabis market. Tilray up 30% yesterday. I haven't looked at it today. Let me have a look. Pot stocks. Tilray, no way. Tilray's up another 13% today. Oh my days. CGC up 7% today. Aurora up 45% today. Wow. So yeah. And regarding gold, gold I think is great if you invest in some good miners, silver miners, GDXJ. I think you can't really go wrong. I think it is just long asset. season. I think it's the as my friend Shardy B, who's an incredible trader and analyst, as she says, it's the macro trade. So I think that's the play.
This episode is brought to you by PrimeXBT, the exchange that makes possible to trade with leverage on legacy markets from a single Bitcoin-based account. Do you think the COVID would have a second wave impact on the economy, or that was it?
Well, it's going to have an impact on the economy. I tweeted maybe a week or two ago saying that we're coming out of the recession. I mean, I did say we're out of the recession, which might technically not true, because it's 2 back-to-back quarters of positive GDP growth is needed to be declared out of the recession. But often it's a lagging indicator. For example, to declare us in a recession, we need back-to-back quarters of negative GDP growth. But when that occurs, the worst is often already behind us. But we saw the biggest gross domestic product contraction in history. So regarding the recessionary indicator of GDP, I think it's only up from here. There aren't as many bankruptcies, nowhere near as there were in the UK, at least at the start of the year. So it's not going to be easy. I think a second lockdown is just going to cripple small to medium enterprises. It's not going to be good for unemployment. Suicide rates are going to skyrocket. So it's not going to be easy. But if you look at the data, cases might be skyrocketing, but deaths are not, which is curious. And the deaths they're fudged. If you look on the news in the UK, when it says COVID deaths, it says any death within 28 days of a positive COVID test. And I think that's very, very curious. So I'm not sure how accurate those numbers are. But yeah, I'm not sure. As long as, regarding the markets, the taps are open. The markets are addicted to liquidity. Provide them with that liquidity and they will rally, as we saw with the NASDAQ up 80% from the bottom. So I'm not entirely sure what's going to happen with the real world economy. I'm pretty scared, to be honest, but I'm hoping for the best. But regarding the markets, as long as the tap is kept on, I expect the risk markets to rally. I expect assets to rally.
So we've had all this great news for crypto and Bitcoin, like PayPal, JP Morgan, Michael Saylor, and the great MacroCRG from them buying a shitload of Bitcoin. Is this the moon news we've been waiting for since the inception of Bitcoin?
Oh, absolutely. I mean, I think it might be a standard for companies to have some of their capital reserves parked in Bitcoin, and it is institutional FOMO is coming, as we've seen with how's Bitcoin doing today? Pulling back a bit, which is good. Don't want it to go up too high because parabolas don't end well. So it looks like Bitcoin's gonna range for a while, which is great. But yeah, I mean, what's not to love? In the past month, there was so much FUD, so many exchanges hacked, the BitMEX indictment, and Bitcoin just would not dump. And if an asset doesn't dump on bad news, it's good news. It's gonna pump, and we're seeing that now. I really hope Bitcoin chills out and ranges for the next month, creates a nice base for the next move higher and lets alts fly, which I expect will happen. But I mean, pullbacks will happen, but you've got to be looking higher. It's the perfect macro environment for crypto and for Bitcoin. And you're forgetting Bitcoin's had a 2-year bear market, and I think it's been massive suppression. And I think I'm just such a bull. I don't see any reason why Bitcoin can't hit a 5 trillion market cap, 100K, 200K Bitcoin. I don't see why it can't. So yeah, I think it's what we've been waiting for 3 years, Panama, and I could not be happier. For me, and my followers, my friends in crypto, we deserve this. So I'm just over the moon, and I hope that we are right.
Yeah, short-term wise, I think we're gonna hit a small correction. Crypto says, which I interviewed like last week, and he expects something like a 30-40% correction in the coming months, which is normal. Especially with this seasonality. If you check I posted something about the seasonality of all seasons, which is, well, not all seasons, about the Bitcoin dominance and altcoins dominance, which usually have a good months between November and February. And we just hit like today's November 6th. So we're probably going to hit sometime, I guess the bottom is in or is close to in for the alts. So basically I expect some inflow of that gains from Bitcoin into alts. So I would say it's a good time to buy some alts at this point and chill out on the Bitcoin pump,
Yeah,
if it may, so alts can rally a bit and find the absolute bottom and consolidate.
I agree with every word, wise words. And I think looking at the Bitcoin chart, a correction back down to 11.5K, which is weekly, monthly support, that would make sense to me. So yeah, whereas everyone's saying I'm actually short Bitcoin right now. I shorted it in the group with a few of my friends. Shout out Byzantine General. He's short as well. He's a fantastic trader and analyst, one of the best Bitcoin analysts I know. So yeah, after having a little chat with him, I shorted. I mean, I'm only hedged. I'm still net long Bitcoin. But yeah, I agree with every word that you've said. Correction would be healthy, and yeah, it's going to be fun to see all the perma bears come out and say, "Ha, told you, told you," and then yeah,
3,000 soon.
I know. I mean, I was super bullish when we were at 10K because weekly and monthly support. I was super bullish. And I was told I was an idiot. It's funny because whenever I was calling for a correction at the top, I was told I was a perma bear. And then when we were at support, I was told I was a perma bull. So now I'm looking for a correction. I've been told a few times that, yeah, it's not coming. But yeah, I think you're spot on with everything you've said there.
Yeah, I've seen you nail all this from the correction in sometime in what was that, March? Up till now, you've been quite accurate. And on both, on alts and Bitcoin.
I've been accurate the last 3 or 4 months, but I had a terrible perspective on market failure this year, Panama. Like I said, there's so many bankruptcies in my work and the news, and my head was everywhere. So I actually sold my Bitcoin, my crypto, when Bitcoin was at 6.5K to reduce my risk exposure because all I cared about was accumulating USD. And I was wrong for a good 2 months. And then when Bitcoin, I was a Bitcoin bear for 2 months of this year after the crash, Panama. And
it's all right. Bitcoin I was too.
Yeah, it's hard, man. I mean, everyone looks at us like people on Twitter with massive followers and expect us to know everything. We are just humans, and it's been a really tough year mentally. But so I was wrong for a good 2 months, but after Bitcoin broke through 10.5K, I've really had my head screwed on and being in tune with the market. So hopefully we carry on being right and we're able to make money with our friends.
Yeah, the thing is to make money, not be right all the fucking time. Like it's
exactly. Who cares about being right?
It's literally impossible to be right all the time. And if you're right, you're fucking lying.
Exactly. Like that's why I'm just fully open about everything, because when I was a bear this year, I did miss out on gains, but I had exposure to risk markets. I had equity positions. I had obviously my uranium portfolio. So I was just accumulating money from my salary and my other incomes. And yeah, so I missed out on a load of gains, but it was crystallizing for me, because not having skin in the game allows you to see the bigger picture. And when Bitcoin broke through 10.5K, I could see the bigger picture, and that's enabled me to kill the markets. I mean, I've called the crypto market perfectly. I didn't expect the altcoins to bleed so much. But yeah, it's all part of my strategy to just dollar cost average into them this year. But yeah, I mean, I agree. Who cares about being right? Making money is more important than being right. Or sorry, not losing money is more important than being right.
Exactly. So off to the last question, Macro. What is your number one recommendation for anyone recently joining crypto?
Stay away from leverage. Because these exchanges, they're unregulated, and they are trying to take your money. They are organizations with a lot of resources trying to take your money. Now, little Billy Big Bollocks, who thinks he's the best trader in the world, like trying to turn his $1,000 into $1 million, he stands no chance for these big exchanges. So, I mean, I've been trading for over 4 years, and I hardly leverage trade crypto, because there's no need for it. Altcoins are volatile enough. Bitcoin's volatile enough. Stay away from leverage. Invest in good projects. And if you do it right and you don't use leverage, it's going to be hard to lose money in the crypto market over the next 12 months, in my opinion.
And with that, we end our episode. I'm extremely happy to have hosted MacroCRG on Point Blank. Thanks for coming on, man. Can you tell us where we can find you?
Yeah, thank you so much for having me, Panama. It's been great to connect with you this year. You can find me on Twitter, MacroCRG. You can also come to my Telegram. It's free. That's MacroCRG1, and then that's the channel. I have a Telegram group, MacroCRG2. Yeah, that's where you can find me.
Thanks for coming on, man. And thanks for listening. Until next time. Peace. This episode was brought to you by PrimeXBT, the exchange where you can trade without KYC on legacy markets with your Bitcoin. You can trade commodities like gold, silver, oil, even indexes and forex. Join now and get a 50% bonus on top of your deposit for trading at u.primexbt.com/Panama.